Hey guys, welcome to 16-Bit Bench, Matt here. Today we're up in London and we're at the Royal National Hotel and we're going to go to the London Gaming Mart. They've got loads of games in there, loads of systems, loads of fun gaming stuff. We're going to walk around and have a look at it all. I'm going to put on my my sneaky spy glasses here and yeah, we're going to go in and I'll talk you through what I see, and if I buy anything, I'll let you know. So here we are inside the Gaming Mart. I've had to edit this quite a lot because obviously when I move my head it's a lot of whip hanging, like that one and that one and that one, and it could make you sick. So what I've done is I've cut as much of that out as possible. So this seller's got a lot of good box stuff here. Camera's not quite good enough to pick up the prices, but you know, they're in the region of what you would have expected really. Nothing here is super cheap. They know they have a captive audience. They know who's coming to see this stuff. So, you know, be prepared to bring some cash. A lot of good PlayStation games here for sale. A lot of box stuff. This table is really interesting. I think I come back to this one a few times and we'll talk about that later. It's just Super Nintendo stuff here. PlayStation, some first-party Dreamcast controllers. Controllers pretty good all over the place. So a lot of first party stuff. You know, no one really collects third party controllers. So yeah, a lot of people's backs. So the problem I'm finding with the Gaming Mart, and I've been probably 3 or 4 times now, is that it's just not enough space. They really need to put some more room in, and spread the tables out. Because all you're doing is you're fighting against all these people all the time, and everyone's got a backpack, obviously, because everyone's come to buy. And yeah, it's a big hassle. Some N64 controllers. Most of the N64 controllers I came across had pretty good thumbsticks on them as well, so they'd either be replaced or they had just survived. But the main reason I'm here, you know, I'm a big Game Gear fan. If you've seen my other videos about Game Gears, you know, I really love Game Gears and I'm looking for Game Gear games. And last time I was here, I found a Thunderblade bootleg. So it was the Master System version of Thunderblade put on a Game Gear cartridge. And it was like £2 because no one buys Game Gear games. So I was kind of on the lookout for something like that. So yeah, I'm looking at all the Game Gear stuff and trying to get that. This guy was a lot of box things, a lot of Japanese imports as well. So a lot of box Japanese stuff. So they actually added this room at the back. Like I was saying before, it would have been good. So this guy's selling protective cases for things like the NES Mini and your cartridge games and that. A couple of tables in here, they have random selections of bits and bobs. Like, you know, this guy's got some Game Boys, some NES games. These guys here, Mega Drive games there at the front, and an Atari 2600, and some control pads over there, some PlayStation 2 games, some loose Super Nintendo games. Yeah, at the beginning, you know, my first go round, I'm just kind of getting a recce of the place and trying to work out what's where. Yes, what's it? Some PlayStation games here as well. A lot of PlayStation around. I think, you know, that's something that you're going to see a lot more of as the other sort of retro things become more and more expensive. The cheaper things will be more forefront. These guys had a load of things they'd refurbished. Here is a guy with a PC Engine plugged in to a Sony broadcast monitor, which was pretty cool to see. Bargain bins down the bottom. Always go for the bins. There's always, you know, this is where I find the interesting stuff. But yeah, broadcast monitors are becoming really big in the retro sort of area. I was a broadcast engineer for 10 years till I changed jobs to do this basically, and they were throwing those things away for nothing. Like if you'd been around in a skip around the back of, you know, Soho or the BBC. When they closed the BBC TV Centre, they were throwing those things in the bin. So, you know, now they go for quite a lot of money. Yeah, some arcade sticks. I'm looking for an arcade stick to turn into an arcade stick / Raspberry Pi. So like a retro Pi, but in an arcade stick. I think that would be something cool. Kind of mimicking the Pandora thing that I made a video about a few weeks ago. But better, because the Raspberry Pi is better than the Pandora guts. Yeah, like I was saying, a lot of PlayStation stuff, lot of that, and it's only going to increase. There's always going to be more. That stuff's flowing out of people's lofts and people's spare rooms as they want to get rid of it and they realise it's worth money. PSP Go for 65 quid there. PSP Go was kind of sort of peaked at about 50 maybe 3 years ago, after obviously it was discontinued. But now you're seeing that come up in price because people know they can get a PSP Go and they can hack it and they can use it as an emulator. Finally, some Game Gear games down here in the bottom, next to these reproduction signs, but sadly all common, nothing interesting. Real shame there. Yeah, you can see me just flick through them. I know these games like the back of my hand. These are the ones you see in every eBay listing. They're always bundled with a broken Game Gear. People trying to get like £100 for a broken Game Gear with some games. You see that all the time, and it's like these common games. I don't want your common games. I'm looking for rare ones. Give me a Tarzan. Give me a Power Drive. Give me a Galaga 2. Something rare. I kind of kicking myself here because this bin I'm looking through now and you can't quite see it, but there are a lot of first-party controllers in there at really good prices. Like there's like NES and Master System pads. You saw a guy pick one up there, just going by me, but like they were like a few pounds, no more. And I've seen NES pads probably go for about £6 to £8 on eBay at the moment. So and Mega Drive and Master System pads even more than that. So yeah, there were some good things there. I don't know why I didn't pick them up, but I didn't. You get kind of con fatigue, PSP there. Sensible offers. This is one of my pet peeves. I don't want to make an offer on your stuff. I want you to tell me how much it is, and if I think it's too much, then maybe I'll bargain or maybe I'll walk away. And like everyone using Facebook Marketplace, understand that listing your item for free does not mean that it will sell if it's expensive. Don't put free and say make me an offer. Tell me what your price is. This is really interesting here, and I do a double take on this. It's a statue from Max Payne 3 for like a £5. If I had the space at all for that, I would have totally got that. But he had a big stack of these statues, and they were £5 each. And they were good quality. 32x there. Back of someone's neck, someone's shoulder. God, this place is cramped. They need more space. Their tables are too small as well. Look how even the small vendors are all crammed in. They've piled high. There's just not enough space on these tables that they're giving them. Yeah, this event is on the verge of breaking through and becoming something massive. I know retro gaming's been big in the States for a long time. It's really starting to pick up in the UK. And the thing I really spot is like, I'm a guy who's nearly 40 and there were kids there and there were teenagers there and there were people in their 20s there. And like, they weren't even born when some of this stuff came out and they're interested in it. They want to collect it. They think it's fun. So like the hobby's really taken off. And I think, this event in particular is going to need to expand to accommodate that. Top of someone's head. He's going through the bargain bin. One of the other things I'm looking for is a justifier. I made a video and I'll link it now. It was the Konami justifier video where I replaced the trigger on a justifier. But I wanted to get out another one just to compare it and test it basically, because I'm not sure the one I fixed actually works right. The trigger works fine because I did it, but I think the internals might be busted. So yeah, I need a justifier to compare it to. Yeah, Pokemon stuff. Look at that. It's an NES, Pikachu NES for 80. Couldn't give those away 5 or 6 years ago. Lots of loose games there. I mean, there's some cool stuff. There's a whole table by this company. Sorry, the name escapes me, but they do exclusively Game Boy mods. So you get custom backlights, biverts. There we are. So all those are biverted with custom backlights on a DMG 01. And I've done some myself, and it makes it look so much better. And it's quite a cheap mod as well. Just like the bivert module is a couple of quid, and the the backlight is a few quid, and it's like you can really improve a Game Boy for not much money at all, compared to a Game Gear, which costs you like 100 quid to replace the screen. So some Zelda stuff. I think I look at, yeah. There's a Master System converter for the Mega Drive there, sort of loose and overpriced. I don't recall what the price was, but I recall thinking, no, I don't want that. Box copy of Knights, probably expensive. Didn't catch the price on that. Yeah, just going round and round really at this point. Pokemon plushies, loose bits, Game Boy printer, not really worth much. Hard to get the right paper for the Game Boy printer now. I think it was a thermal paper that was adhesive, so you can get thermal paper that I think fits in it, but you can't get the adhesive thermal printer paper, so you can't make stickers anymore. Back of someone's neck. Like I said, a lot of jump cuts in this just because I didn't want to have all these whip pans where I'm kind of hunting around. Crystal Xbox, original Xbox there behind that guy's head. Box of zappers, a gun con, not a justifier, sadly. Yeah, so these are guys who are at the one end of the room. You see, they've got a lot of box stuff here, a lot of cool box things. It's Box Dreamcast there, Ratchet and Clank PS2. Look, a 3DO, Virtual Boy up there. I think someone actually bought that. I think I remember seeing someone walk around with that. Yeah, I think it's crazy, really. There's people walking around with like a boxed SNES, which I know would have cost top dollar here. This is the most expensive place to buy a box console. And this guy was walking around with the thing, and I just remember thinking, man, you got more money than sense. Yeah, you got more money than me. This guy sat here. This was the guy I got the Game Gear cartridge from last time. So I'm kind of hovering around going, where's the Game Gear stuff? Where's the Game Gear stuff? But yeah, they didn't have it out, or they didn't have it. There was a book on the table. It was like the history of the Oliver twins, and they were two English programmers that made games for Codemasters back in the early 80s. And Dizzy was one of their creations, like this egg character. If you don't know who Dizzy is, look him up. I think there should be a new Dizzy game. I mean, I love Dizzy. Let's see, boxed Famicom. No, there's a Game Gear game in there. Ernie L's Golf. One of the most boring games. It's Codemasters release, actually, speaking of Codemasters. Codemasters release games for the Game Gear in their own custom size, which makes storing them annoying. So I'm hovering here, and you can't really see it, but at the bottom of the shot is a PC Engine with the RGB mod module on it for 75. Now, I modded a PC Engine, Region modded it, not RGB modded it. And I managed to sell that for about 150. So to me, I'm thinking, this is, I can make money on this. And actually pick it up and take a look at the module. It's that design that takes a signal from the back of the pins on the pin connector on the back, which I'm not sure if that's compatible with the CD. If you have the CD, I don't know if you can plug that in. Or if the CD has a back connector, I don't think it does. But anyway, yeah, it's just too much money. Like £75. I could have modded it. Maybe I could have doubled my money. Maybe I wouldn't have. I'm not really into that speculation kind of thing. I like to find broken things and fix them and put them back in circulation. So I decided against that, really. I left it with them. There's some more Game Gear games down there, but I checked them out. Dreamcast, yeah. I had a Dreamcast. I regret selling it. Had a bit of a clear out, sold my Dreamcast, sold my PlayStation 2. It was also, it was chipped as well. I chipped it myself a long time ago, about 10, 15, about 12, 13 years ago. I did that. And obviously, mod chips in the UK are illegal. So if you're buying and selling them is illegal, they passed a law like 15 years ago. I don't know if it still stands. I don't know how it stands on retro stuff. But yeah, so I couldn't sell it. I couldn't sell it through eBay or anything. They wouldn't let me list it. So I think I ended up giving it away, which is stupid. Yeah, I was thinking to myself today, we've got a young daughter, and I was thinking if I buy anything for her, like a game system or whatever, a new one, what you should do is take the box, put it in the loft. When she's bored of it, get it, put it in the box. Wrap it in polythene and put it back in the loft and leave it up there, because it's just time and time again. Whatever the childhood fad is for now, when that generation grows up to be 20, 30, 40, they want to buy their childhood stuff, and they want that available. So whatever they're into now, if it's those little fingerling animals or whatever, get some boxed ones and just put them away, because they may be worth money one day. They may be worth having. So these the guy in the brown shirt is the one running the store, and he's shown the other guy that PC Engine. The PC Engine has the like an EverDrive on the back of it. I didn't really know what it was, but it was like it fitted on the back of the PC Engine. It had basically all the games on it. So he's showing that off. It was pretty cool. But yeah, so now it's getting hot. It's getting sweaty. There's more and more people in. You can't move. You can't see anything. Yeah, I'm struggling to get through. There's this bargain bin here. I think everything was like £2, and I find an NES Turbo Touch 360. Which you can't really see. I've got to be more mindful to sort of move my head, not just my eyes when I look down. But yeah, I was like pretty tempted by the Turbo Touch because I'd heard about it. I think Pat the NES Punk made a video about it. Obviously, because he makes a video about it, and he's made all the NES videos ever. So, but yeah, didn't get it. And then I googled it, and it's just a thing that no one's really interested in. It's just one of those weird things. It probably doesn't work very well anyway because it's 1980s touch technology. I think this is the last gasp. I kind of shoot around. Yeah, I'm looking for. My main aim is Game Gear stuff or something interesting, something weird. That NES, that N64, sorry, catches my eye, but I don't think I want to pay that kind of money for that. Yeah, like I said, my thing is finding broken stuff and fixing that broken stuff, basically. And this is not the kind of place where you can do that sort of stuff. No one's selling broken things here. They're all selling boxed or new things. So I follow this guy out, and that's pretty much it. So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to it. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. It's 16BitBench. And yeah, there's more thrifting coming. I've got some more things I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I'll see you next time.